our girl has a Leo stellium. Yeah, she was meant to be a star. She was meant to be a star. Like, do we even need to talk about anything else? Come on. Like, any Leo placement, you have that star power in you, especially Leo risings and all of these Leo placements together. Yeah, she was always meant to be seen. Okay, it's time to yap. It's time to yap, and I fear I have not yapped in so long that I'm going through yap withdrawals. So don't you worry, I am here, and we're gonna yap together. I feel like I took a week break and like 500 different things happened. So we are gonna go on a journey this episode, as we always do. I don't think there's ever order here. There is enough order in my life. I feel like when it comes to creative shit, when it comes to here, we don't need order. You know what I mean? Well, maybe I have order actually in my concept videos for the most part, but in the podcast, during yap therapy, like, you can't pick what comes up in therapy. You never really know where it's gonna go, but it's going places. So that's what's happening here. Actually, it's so funny. I was just doing the Capricorn Venus video, and one of the points I made on there is, you know, Capricorn Venus, one of the things that they're really good at, Capricorn placements, they will make your life easier, right? They're just so practical. They know how to streamline processes just to make things simpler for themselves and for the people that they love. But one of the things that they're also really good at is helping you set better boundaries, which I feel like is the best, dare I say, first step on your self-love journey. And I don't know about you guys, but I feel like when we think about, or when we used to, because I feel like, you know, spirituality has been on the rise, and we've all been learning about self-love and all that jazz for a while now in the past 10 years. But crazy how for still a lot of people, when you think of self-love, it's almost like this like la-do-dee concept of like self-love. Yes, I love myself. But there's so much more to it. When you think about it, in reality, setting boundaries is probably the first step, you know, to your self-love journey. But when you hear the phrase boundaries, you think like, not boundaries, you know? And like, honestly, when you have boundaries and when you get comfortable setting them, you're like obsessed with it. I feel like you become obsessed with it because it's almost addicting, you know? You're almost like just letting everyone know, hey, this is me. You don't get to do that to me anymore. Hey, this is me. You don't get to talk to me like that anymore. Like, it feels like a high because you're finally standing up for yourself, you know? And it doesn't always have to be aggressive, but shit, if you have been a people pleaser and you now all of a sudden you're setting boundaries hella aggressively, more power to you, you know? But it's different for everyone. But for the most part, when you think of setting boundaries, it can be very intimidating for people, right? Like, it's a scary thing to do because you don't know who you're going to lose. You don't know if you're even going to be able to say it. I think we tend to forget how hard it is for people to even just communicate certain things, just say the words, you know? So when you think of setting boundaries, it can be this serious, serious thing. But if you think about it, when you start setting boundaries, your self-love, it's like parallel to how good you are at setting boundaries. People that are really good at setting boundaries, I know for a fact, love themselves, because when you're setting boundaries, you're protecting yourself, right? Like, you're drawing a circle, setting a boundary, telling people this is as far as you can get to me. You know, like, when it comes to this is as far as you can get to me. When it comes to you, this is as far as you can get to me. You know what I mean? And that is ultimately self-love and protection. That's one of the aspects of Capricorn energy that I love. Like, we talk about how Cancer is very obviously emotional and in tune with themselves and their needs, right? So when you think about their sister sign, Capricorn, I think one of the ways that Capricorn is actually very much in tune with themselves, because, you know, they get the bad rep of being cold. One of the ways that they actually do nurture their inner child is their boundary setting. You know, when Capricorn is setting boundaries and is so effortlessly good at it and doesn't waste their time with things and people they don't want to be around, like, that is the ultimate act of self-love. But we don't always think about self-love and boundaries in that way, you know, when we really should. I really miss talking to you guys. Okay, yeah, this is so fun. Speaking of fun things, I love Doechii. You guys know Doechii? Like, if you don't know Doechii, where the hell have you been? She is a rapper. I believe that she's signed under Kendrick's label, actually. But she's from Florida. And I don't know if you guys watched the Grammys, but my girl won Best Rap Album of the Year. Yes. And she is the third person in the history of time, the third female in the history of time to do it. I believe it was Lauryn Hill, and then it was Cardi B, and now it's Doechii. So she just had an iconic night at the Grammys, and I'm so happy for her, and I loved her speech. If you can go on YouTube, go on TikTok, watch her speech. It's so beautiful and empowering. And I've said this before, I don't know what it is, the frequency of watching someone during the very moment where one of their dreams come true is one of the most beautiful feelings ever. Like when I have the privilege of literally seeing that sparkle in someone's eye, or the tear, or what they say, their speech, when one of the dreams that they've been working towards come true, it's such a beautiful high. It's such a beautiful frequency. So seeing that, it made me so happy for her. And if you don't know about Doechii, well, now you know. Go check her out. Her album, all her albums are good. Her most recent album is really good. It kind of has this like old school feel to it. It really does. And if you want to start off with the song, start off with "The Nile is a River," because it's iconic. And I just thought we could just quickly look at her chart. So she is a Leo sun. Makes so much sense. I mean, Leos are just truly some of the most creative people out there. Leos and Pisces and Scorpios, the signs that just have this overwhelming sense of feeling and of creativity. You know what I mean? So her being a Leo sun just makes so much sense because she knows how to show up in the world. And she has a Taurus moon, which I love. I love Taurus moons. I'm actually a Taurus moon inside Real Astrology, and Taurus, obviously having a Taurus moon, like the moon is exalted in Taurus, so it's a really beautiful placement, and you just have a way of making people feel safe. There's just this sense of security, inner security that you have no matter where you are. There is a sense of calm that you have, which I feel like probably helps mellow out her fire dominant chart, because as I'm looking at it, she also has a Leo rising and a Leo Mercury and a Leo Venus. Oh, our girl has a Leo Stellium. Yeah, she was meant to be a star. She was meant to be a star. Like, do we even need to talk about anything else? Come on. Like, any Leo placement, you have that star power in you, especially Leo risings and all of these Leo placements together. Yeah, she was always meant to be seen and for her emotions to be seen. If you have a Taurus moon, you're probably, very private with your emotions. But when you have all of these Leo placements that are allowing you to express yourself and to put it all out there, put it all out there on a stage. And when you obviously get positive feedback, it makes your Taurus moon probably feel that much safer and that much happier with itself. Okay, one of the serious topics I want to talk about is how I feel like there's no way I'm the only person that is literally always going back and forth between thinking, wow, I'm so great. Like, I'm so fucking great and I'm fucking killing it, to literally, who the fuck am I? What the fuck am I doing? What is the purpose of all of this? Like, honestly, the back and forth between those two feelings is insane. And it happens, well, sometimes it happens daily. Sometimes it happens weekly. Sometimes it doesn't happen for a while. But it is something that I have always struggled with. And I honestly don't know if it ever goes away. I hope it does. I hope that, like, at some point in my life, I'm so in tune with who I am, and how I show up, that I never doubt, like, what is the reasoning, you know what I mean? Or like, you know how it is with imposter syndrome. I think everyone, has imposter syndrome, to some degree. And it's one of the most useless things ever. Like, I literally hate it so much. Or I just hate the feeling of, you kind of feel crazy. And also, I think what a lot of women don't realize, and especially men don't realize, is the highs and lows of your hormones. It directly affects your mood. So actually, scientifically, there's really only 2 weeks in the month where women feel normal, because your luteal phase and then your actual menstrual phase, that is when you're experiencing so many lows and, your emotions are all over the place. So then when you come out of it, you're good for like a solid 2 weeks until you're back into it again. And I feel like it directly correlates probably to this as well. I mean, I'm sure it's also the state of the world and internal things, but I'm also going to blame Mother Nature because she should take some ownership. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's honestly crazy. I feel like a lot of people are uneducated when it comes to shit like that. Not a lot of people would even know that a man's hormonal cycle lasts a day. I don't know if you guys know that. Scientifically, yes, this isn't just shit I'm making up. And a woman's is 28 days, you know? So it's a completely different ball game for women. And I think that's why sometimes maybe we do not see and understand each other. And if you're a man, I encourage you, if you have a woman, to understand that, you know, our hormonal cycle is very different than yours, which is why we have, you know, emotional days. And you guys are robots. Just kidding. No, you have feelings. You're fine. But yeah, I just wanted to let the people know you're not crazy. It's probably Mother Nature, or it's what's happening on this fucked up planet. And I hope, no matter who you are, no matter where you live, that you have several outlets that bring you joy, like truly. And watching this could be one of them. You know what I mean? Cooking can be one of them. Talking a little shit with your friends. I don't know, reality TV shows. You better have a couple of things that you can think of right now that bring you joy. I feel like as people, we're conditioned to always think about problems and solving our problems and what's going on with our life and what's the next step of my life. How can I impress other people? You know, is it time to go to school? Okay, is it time to get married? Is it time to have kids? Like, we are always like trying to meet certain deadlines. And I want you to slow it down a little bit. Okay, slow it down a little bit and think about a few things that bring you joy and really hold on to them forever. And those things can change throughout your life. You can get into different things. But when you are going through shit, when you're having a bad day, when you're having a bad week or a bad period in your life, I want you to remember these things, the things that bring you joy, and actively force yourself to do them. You know what I mean? I say that as someone with depression. Obviously, it's hard. It's different for everyone. Sometimes when you're so depressed, you just don't want to do anything. Most of the time, you just want to lay there. But I'm saying, if you want to prevent your bad mood, if you want to prevent the stress that you brought home from work from taking over your whole night instead of just like the first 10 minutes, I think that you should always have your list of things that bring you joy and be like, okay, I could do this. This is going to make me feel better. Even though right now I don't want to do it, but I feel like if I start doing it, it's probably going to make me feel better. And I promise you that it will. It's just a matter of doing it, you know, moving. When we're stagnant and we're going through it, that is when our mind just completely takes over and we just go down the spiral. We go down the negative spiral of, it's a bad day, no, it's a bad week, no, it's a bad life, like fuck this shit, you know what I mean? And obviously we have certain transits. Everyone is going through different transits that affect them. So, you know, you could just be low energy because of that, you know? And I think those are the times where you should really, really, really remember the things that usually bring you joy, because now more than ever, you need to use, you know, those things to brighten up your day, make yourself feel better. You know what I mean? Other people, yes, can make us feel better, but no one's going to make you feel better than when you can make yourself feel better. And no one's going to make it last as long as when you make yourself feel better. You know what I mean? Because it comes from within. And if for some reason this person is taken away from you or they leave, you know what I mean? Your joy isn't dependent on them, you know? You feeling better isn't dependent on them because you have the ability to do it for yourself. And honestly, speaking of eras and, you know, bad weeks or bad months or bad years. So I don't know if you guys believe in Chinese astrology. I do. I heavily believe in it. And if you don't know, you have obviously your Chinese Zodiac sign, which is your animal, right? And then you also have like your enemy animals, right? And you have your friend animals. So every year is a different animal, right? And if it's, you know, your enemy year, you're probably going to have a rough year. You're going to have a lot of challenges and pushback and lessons. You probably should stay low. If you're in a friend year, it's going to be a good year for you. There's going to be good luck. The powers of the universe are going to be working with you instead of against you, right? So if you don't know about Chinese Zodiac, get into it. I'll post some of my favorite pictures that I have whenever I want to remember shit. I'll post it here because, you know, you can see the years and you could see the animals and what your enemy animal is and what your friend animal is, blah, 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 right? Okay, so I am a dog. Yeah, I'm a dog. So yeah, in Chinese astrology, I'm a dog, right? So last year was my enemy year, right? My enemy is the dragon, which, like, honestly, I have a bone to pick. And this is me being sarcastic. It's a bit. I don't really have a bone to pick with the, you know, with the culture of the Chinese, of great Chinese people. I have a bone to pick because why is the dog the enemy of, you know, the dragon? And why is the dragon the enemy of the dog? Like, you know, pick on someone your own size. Like, I just have to say, what you mean my enemy is the dragon? Like, that motherfucker's gonna slay me. And I'm gonna be trying to, like, lick it and tell it that I'm obsessed with it and, like, be all up in it and, like, beg for its loyalty. Meanwhile, I'm gonna be on fire. Like, come on. That just, like, does not sound fair to me, but it's cool. It's cool. So, yeah. Last year was my enemy year. And listen, I hate the idea of fear mongering. That's not what I'm trying to do here. I'm just sharing my experience, which very much fit the bill of what a enemy year is like when you're experiencing it. And I feel like last year was a hard one for me. I don't feel like it. It was a hard year for me. And it just felt like there was always some sort of pushback. Well, granted, I was also going through Pluto transit and I was, you know, finishing up my Saturn return. Honestly, no, that's another bone to pick. You're telling me I went through an intense Pluto transit, squaring my freaking sun. Oh my, like leading up to that. And then I have my Saturn, wrapping up my Saturn return. And it was my Chinese enemy year, Chinese Zodiac enemy year. And yeah, no. Interesting. I would like an appointment with my spirit guides. And then I want to talk to the boss after, which is God. Because, like, what the hell? That is crazy. But you know what? We're here. We did it. But it was not easy. I felt like there was a lot of pushback in everything that I kind of wanted. And also just, like, mentally going through a lot of, you know, rebirths and deaths and a lot of shadow work, I would say. A lot of dealing with my shit head on and, like, honestly, the ugliness of reality. That's how I would describe it. Like, delusional La La Land was nowhere to be found at all. And I think in general, it's nice to have some delulu happiness in your life. And last year, I felt like I really didn't have a chance to have that because I was going through so much in so many different ways. And that's that. So I just want to say, if you experience an enemy year, listen, we all do, and you already have, you know what I mean? And you will get through it. But just remember that, like, some years of our lives are just about laying low, about just figuring your shit out and doing the shadow work and really understanding your subconscious, why things are the way that they are and why you're reacting the way that you're reacting. I think that is the main aspect also of when you're going through a tough time or a tough period of your life is, yes, the things that are happening are shitty and, you know, fuck the world or fuck the people or fuck the universe or whatever for doing this to me. But the good things that are coming out of it or the lessons that are meant to be learned have to do with how you handle those things and how you view yourself in this sort of position. Like, are you completely, you know, telling yourself that you're a victim, or are you, you know, taking some responsibility and just being resilient and figuring out how you can grow in this situation? Because truthfully, you don't grow in happy situations. That's just a fact. You don't. You're too busy experiencing it and just being happy. Whereas when you're going through difficult times, you're in your head, right? Like, when you're happy and joyous, you're out of your head. You're experiencing life. You're just being. Whereas when you're going through shit, when you're having a hard time, you're in your head, you're in your subconscious, you're overthinking, you're analyzing, you're trying to understand why this is happening, why you are the way that you are, why is this happening to me? So it's a lot of you and you know, and if you don't like you, it's probably harder than anything. But I, as someone who, I would say I like me, still hard, you know, but I just had to remind myself that it's a phase. Nothing in life is forever. That can honestly make a lot of things feel better for you is when you realize that nothing lasts forever, you know? So tough time, an enemy year, a tough transit, it's not forever. I was so happy because Chinese New Year doesn't start usually till like end of January, right? Beginning of February. This time I think it was the 29th, right? Last Wednesday is when it happened. So, you know, your girl was counting down. You know what I mean? Like everyone was like, New Year's, New Year's. I'm like, no, I'm waiting for Chinese New Year, you know? I'm waiting for the year of the dragon to be over. Because time for a new era. Time for me to be happy again. No, I was happy. I swear. But happy year, you know, back to my normal joyous self. That is what we're on. So yeah. And if you are a snake, not like a snake, like you a snake, no. In Chinese Zodiac, if you are a snake, it is your year. It is the year of the snake. Let's see who the snake's friends are so we can see which one of y'all are having a good year. And, you know, even if you're not their friend, you'll have a fine year, you know? Let's see, snake. Okay. So you're the snake. The allies for the snake are ox and rooster. So if you're an ox or a rooster, you're about to have a great year, okay? Own that shit. Claim it. That is yours, all right? That is yours. All I gotta say is next year is the year of the horse, and that is one of my allies. So it's gonna be so my year. Like, I'm so back. I mean, I'm so back like this year, but 2026, watch out. Some shit's gonna happen. Some great magical shit's gonna be happening to me, for all of us dogs out there. Okay, I have to give like a prequel. I have to give like trigger warning upon trigger warning upon trigger warning. Like, I know I've like recommended other books before. This book is like dark romance. Like dark. Like, also, if you choose to read it, like, don't be judging me. You know what I mean? Like, people love this shit, okay? Like, I don't know why I'm like giving you like as if I'm the only reader or writer. But this is dark romance. Don't be reading this. It's not no like Once Upon a Broken Heart or even Zodiac Academy. Even though Zodiac Academy can be like, you know, dark in its own ways. This is a true dark romance with lots of trigger warnings, but holy shit. So the name of the book is Feathers So Vicious. It's a romantasy, a dark romantasy. And you guys, this is the problem. This is the problem with being at the end of your book at the gym. So I love to read at the gym, right? When I'm doing cardio, it's like, it makes the time go by like that. So I was at like, I want to say 95% of the book. So it was time to go to the gym. So I was about to finish the book, right, at the gym. And you guys obviously know, like, the last, like, I don't know, 50, 80 pages of any sort of book, that's when shit gets crazy, especially fantasy books in a series, right? Because it's not no, like, happily ever after, like, shit's just popping off, and you're about to see the plot twist, like, the ultimate plot twist, right? Oh my God. When I tell you guys, like, when I was finishing it, like, the last 3 pages, I almost, like, hollered. Like, I almost took my Kindle and I just, like, threw it. Hit the back of the head of the guy in front of me. You know, no, I didn't want to actually go to jail, so I didn't do that. But I thought about it. I thought about hitting it so hard because I was so angry. Like, it was the kind of angry where I'm like, I put myself in the person's shoes and I was so offended and angry. I was so angry. And the worst part was I couldn't read the second book, you know, right away. Actually, it's funny because people that probably read like actual books, they have to wait for the other book to come. Whereas when you're a Kindle reader and you have Wi-Fi and you're at home, you could just boop. That fucking video of Beyonce, boop. Like, right away, you could just one click buy the next book, right? But my shit wasn't connected to my gym's Wi-Fi. So I just had to finish my workout so mad and just like actually, I like ran back home damn near so I could buy it and like just read like the first 5 pages right before I hopped in the shower. It was crazy. So listen, I'm not telling anybody to buy this book. If you do, beware. It's dark, okay? So yeah, I learned a fact that I fear I must share with you. I don't fear, I have to share with you now. It said, want to hear something amazing about crying? Benjamin Perry said this on Twitter, because I don't know no X. I don't know what that is. I don't even know who Elon Musk is. Who's that? I don't know. He said, want to hear something amazing about crying? Emotional tears have higher protein concentration than irritant tears, which makes them fall down your cheeks more slowly, increasing the chance they'll be seen and solicit care. In literal ways, your body is built for community. When I read this shit, I was like, oh my God. I felt like someone struck me in my chest damn near. And like, I don't know. I feel like a Cancer did it. A Cancer did it. Like whoever was up there, because let's have a little fun imagining shit. Let's say God's soldiers, they're all one sign, or the universe's soldiers, right? There's 12 of them. I feel like the Cancer soldier was the one that was like, and how about when the humans cry, we put a higher protein concentration in those tears, you know, the emotional tears, more so than the irritant tears, because then people around them will see that they're crying and they're upset and they'll be there for them. Cancer is the one that brought that to the round table, okay, at the meeting, okay, right before they made the humans. There's no way. This is the most Cancer shit I've ever heard. And I also feel like Cancer placements are some of the most beautiful criers. They really are. Cancers are some of the most beautiful criers. I don't know what it is. It's like their ocean eyes. You just look into them and they're crying. It's so sad. Don't cry, Cancer. But wow, you look so magical and beautiful, Cancer. You know what I mean? And I just thought that was so beautiful. And it's crazy. It's crazy. Like the facts you learn about our bodies and why they do what they do and how they do what they do, it never ceases to amaze me. Like, it's crazy. It's all so crazy. I just don't understand how people can read a fact like that and not understand how much spirituality affects our experience on this earth. Like, obviously, yes, I believe in science, but the spiritual aspect, like our bodies and the way that they are and the way that we communicate with other people, nonverbal communication, right? Or like when you can just feel if someone isn't okay, you know, even if they're not crying, when you're able to feel that way. I know you water signs get it too. Like us water signs, no matter what sign you are, we can look at you and lock in and be like, something happened, what happened, your energy's off. You know what I mean? Like, who did this to you? You know what I mean? Us water signs can peep that right away. And I think water signs, you know, you should continue to do that because you're so good at it and people value you for it. But also you need to have a good balance of like, yes, you see people like this and maybe you want to check on them, but also be sure that, you know, you have the energy to open up that well of secrets or of emotions, and also make sure that they feel comfortable telling you. Because sometimes, even for me, you know what I mean? You know, when you maybe are not as comfortable with someone and yes, you aren't okay, but they come and they're like, you're not okay, what's wrong? Even though I can appreciate that, sometimes it makes me uncomfortable because I'm like, well, I don't really know you like that. And like, you know what I mean? I'm not going to fake it, like what I'm upset about, but also I don't feel comfortable enough around you to tell you what it is, you know? It's just like, I guess it's a line, you know? Because sometimes, you know, when you're out in public and people are like, what's wrong? You will literally cry just from someone asking you what's wrong. Is anyone like that? Like, I can cry really, really easily. I don't like crying in front of people, but I can cry really, really easily. And you know, when you're emotional and you're having a rough day, and as soon as someone just looks at you and they're like, what's wrong? Your tears are just falling like rainwater. And you're just like, yeah, you know, I thought I was going to be able to keep it in. But as soon as you notice that there's something wrong with me, you just opened up everything that I'm feeling. And it can be uncomfortable, but also when it's in a safe space and someone you love and trust asks you, it feels so good because, you know, shit's about to get released. You know what I mean? Like, it's all about to come out. Thank you for asking, because at first I was going to play it off and then let it come out slowly. But by you noticing that there is, in fact, something wrong with me, you have put a catalyst, you know, in this situation. You have told me it's time to talk about it. And you know what? Let's get into it. Let's get into it right away. But yeah, it's fun thinking about the fake astrological celestial group that we have up there, the 12 of them that make up the 12 signs, and what they came up with about how we need to live, you know, as humans. If you have good ones for other signs, comment it below, because that is fun. What did other signs in our fake astrological council come up with, you know, about why humans are the way they are and what we need to give humans, what traits do we need to give them for them to live the life that they're meant to live on this planet? I feel like it's fun thinking about that. Okay, another fact that I saw that I know you guys would be interested in is they said if you leave parties without saying bye, you can save up to 2 days per year. When I saw this, I was like, yes. I am the biggest advocate for an Irish goodbye. I feel like it's good for me. It's good for you. Like, honestly, let's mind our businesses here. You know what I mean? Like, why does everyone need to know when you're leaving? Also, for me personally, like, I come from a culture where, Yeah, it's like very rude, especially like growing up, right? If we're at a dinner party, you have to say bye to everyone. And I mean, you literally go and like you shake hands with everybody as you get there. You shake hands with every single person when you leave. I can't think of anything worse. Like truly, I can't. So I'm happy. I'm happy about adulthood, even though it's hard. I'm happy about the fact that I can make my own decisions, you know, as an adult, and I could just look at the room and be like, well, you know, at family functions, I will obviously still be like, bye. But I'm doing a wave and I'm saying bye to everyone at once because I am not going around shaking everyone's hand. Like, why are we doing this to each other? You know what I mean? Like, come on. But yeah, with like non-family stuff, yeah, I have no problem doing an Irish goodbye because like, mind your business. Who cares? Who cares that I didn't say bye? Like, weren't you enjoying the party? Weren't you engaging in a fun conversation? Like, why does it matter if I said bye or not? Like, bye. Like, it's fine. I'm probably going to see you another time, you know? I don't need to be like, bye. Okay, bye. I love you. I'm like, no, I can't, and I won't, and you can't make me. And I'm going to save 2 days per year by doing this, you know? That's 2 days where I can sleep. Now, let's be honest, I'm scrolling through TikTok probably with those extra 2 days. I was reading this quote on Instagram, and it said, "He who jumps into the void owes no explanation to those who stand and watch," which I thought was very profound, obviously. And, you know, my explanation of this is basically don't take the advice or don't care about the judgment of anyone that is not going to the places that you're going, that is not making the decisions that you're making. Because as we know in this life, everyone always loves to give their little 2 cents. And you know what? That is fair. You know, you can't stop people from having opinions. You know, you can't, unless you put a gag order on everybody, which you can't. You can't stop people from sharing their opinions and opening their mouth and giving you advice. And even if you were to tell people, I don't care, some people still will do it. What you can control is whether you feel the need to explain yourself or whether you care about their judgment. You know, I think a lot of people don't do what they want to do in fear of being judged, in fear of being cringe, in fear of people thinking that they're not being themselves, whatever that means. As if you can't change, as if your dreams can't change, as if you can't all of a sudden be motivated and finally do it. You know what I mean? I think a lot of times people stop themselves from doing what they really want to do because of these people that stand around and have judgments. And I don't want you to deal with that. I don't want anyone to deal with that. I don't even want me to deal with that. And I still deal with it sometimes, but I've gotten really, really good at it. Like, just shut people off. Like, their voices, their opinions, especially people that are not doing what you're doing. It could simply be someone that has the job you want, right? Their advice matters because they have worked for what it is that you want, what it is that you're in the process of getting, right? So this is someone that actually has some facts, actually has experience doing what it is that you want to do, right? So you would not care about, hopefully, someone's opinion or advice that doesn't have that job, right? Like, just think about it as simply as that. Or even when it comes to being a mother, I would think mothers don't really care about the opinion of people that aren't mothers. I'm saying is for the most part, I'm sure for mothers, when another mother that you respect is giving you advice, that is when you actually listen or you care. There's just so many things, right? So when it comes to anything in life, like if you have a dream and you think it's too big or you're scared of it, or you're scared of people judging it, just please ask yourself, the people that are judging me, are they putting themselves out there like I am? You know what I mean? Even if you want to be a doctor and you're like, maybe that's too much. Are people going to think I'm crazy for wanting to do that? Do not care about anyone else's opinion, but someone that is actually on your level or above. And mostly above, because hopefully they have some solid advice to give you and hopefully you can learn something from their experience. And for the most part, I want to say 99% of the time, the people that have already done what you want or are in the process of doing it, they're going to be the ones that are the most supportive and they're not going to hate on you. You know what I mean? A hater is never someone that is doing better than you. A hater is always, almost always someone that is doing worse than you. You know what I mean? That's why they got time to sit there and hate. you know? So a lot of times if you are stopping yourself from doing what you want to do and being who you want to be because you're scared of what people have to say, just remind yourself, are these people at a place where I respect in life? You know what I mean? Are these people doing what I want to be doing with my life? Are these people as happy as I aspire to be in life? If they're not, why does their opinion matter? Like, at all. You should not take that into consideration at all. Literally let their words go through one ear and out the other. And even just thinking about the quote, because it talks about explanation and you not needing to explain to people why you're going where you're going and why you're doing what you're doing to the people that aren't even coming with you. You know what I mean? Because that's just a waste of time. You know what I mean? I think a lot of people feel like they're owed explanations, and people piss me off because who said you deserve an explanation? Like, literally, who are you to even deserve an explanation about why I'm doing what I'm doing, who I'm doing it with? You know what I mean? What it is that I'm doing? What are my dreams? You know what I mean? What are my goals? What it is that I want? And a lot of times, for the most part, you telling them these amazing things, these beautiful things that you want, their negative, weird energy is going to latch onto it. So again, go back to privacy. But that doesn't always work out either because, you know, some things are just everyone knows about. So when it comes to those things, just try to shut out people's opinions. The things that you find to be sacred about you, which are usually, yeah, your dreams, your aspirations, what you want, your dream house, whatever. Don't let anyone's opinion infiltrate that bubble that you have built for your dream life, you know? Like, really just look at what it is that you want, imagine it, visualize it, manifest it, and tune out anyone else's opinion. Whenever they're trying to latch onto it, literally imagine a white orb. Imagine a white orb around yourself to block out their negativity. And imagine a white orb around your dreams, about your manifestations, about the things that you want. Protect it from people. And a lot of times, again, it's not personal. People are just so sad about their own lives, and it's easier for them to hate on you, and it's easier for them to judge you than it is to look in the mirror and think about everything that they didn't do, everything that they gave up on. You know what I mean? So just beware of that. Beware of that. And be your number one hype man. Seriously. Be your number one hype man, and also be your freaking people's number one hype man. You know what I mean? Understand that their wins are your wins. And just because they got something sooner than you doesn't mean that yours isn't coming, you know? Never, ever, ever allow yourself to think that because someone else got it, now there's less of it in the world for you. Because that is not thinking with the abundance mindset. The abundance mindset tells you, no matter what, there is enough for everybody. Of course I can have this. Of course there's enough of this in the universe for me. Why wouldn't it be there? So if you even feel a little bit of envy, or you know what I mean, anger, whatever, because someone close to you got something and it hasn't happened for you yet, your feelings are valid because you want that thing so bad for yourself, but push through that and be happy for them, because I promise you, your time is coming. And when your time comes, you want people to be happy for you too. You know what I mean? One does not take away from the other. Also, can I just say, I feel like the energy is also going to be getting so much better because a lot of the Aquarius planets are now have already moved past Pluto. So Pluto is at 2 degrees, about to be 3 degrees Aquarius, and obviously, we're already at 15 degrees Aquarius for the sun, and then the moon already passed Aquarius too. Mercury's at 11 degrees Aquarius. I don't know how far back Mercury when is Mercury retrograde? But anyway, a lot of these planets have moved past Pluto, you know? So I think the energy hopefully is going to be getting a little bit lighter. Hopefully you'll feel a little bit lighter. Obviously, your personal chart matters too, but I think that was also a main thing of November, December, January, and also, you know, what's happening in the freaking world and in this country. It's a freaking joke. It's not a joke, but it's a joke, you know? So yeah, now that I think a lot of those planets have moved past the degree of Pluto and Aquarius, I think things are going to be feeling a little bit better. So yeah, enjoy that energy, and remember that this year things are going to change. We're in a 9-year, you know, a lot of completion, a lot of new cycles. I believe a lot of our planets are moving into new signs this year. Literally damn near all of them are moving into new signs this year. So it really is such a year of, you know, turning a new leaf. Like a new chapter is really awaiting for us, I think, personally and also as a collective. So I'm really, really looking forward to that. All right, you guys, this is the end of Yap Therapy. I hope you enjoyed all of this. Because I sure did. Don't forget to leave me a review if you're listening on Spotify or Apple. That helps me out a lot. And if you're watching, comment about any of the topics I touched on. We love this community. I love this community. I love when you guys talk to each other in the comments. That makes me so happy. So yeah, I love you guys. Don't forget to comment, subscribe, like the video, and I'll see you guys next week. Have a good weekend, okay?